Hello and welcome to the Cloud Design Blocks podcast. Today we're following on with our Learning Accelerator series, and we're talking to Samantha Fisher about speaker coach and speaker progress. Hi, Sam. How are you?
Hi, Darren. I'm good. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. So I know you've got a lot to show us today. You've got some new updates, some new features within Speaker Coach. Some people might have seen Speaker before. There's some new stuff that's happening. So should we just get straight into that?
Yeah, let's do it. So, hey, everybody, I'm super excited to talk about Speaker Progress. So, we actually just rolled out Speaker Progress worldwide about 2 weeks ago. So, everything that I'm showing, if you go into a class team, you will have access to everything that I'm showing and demoing today. So, it's fully out there, it's fully rolled out, but it's super new. So, that's why I'm really excited to talk to Darren today and to talk to all of you and show you what we've been working on for the last year.
Cool.
So you all might be familiar, as Darren mentioned, with Speaker Coach technology. That technology exists today in PowerPoint, where you can go into PowerPoint and select Rehearse with Coach and practice your presentation. What we've done is build that Speaker Coach technology into Teams and into the assignments flow as well, and made some cool updates. So in the report that we show at the end of rehearsing a presentation, we actually bucket that into top strengths and top opportunities, as you'll see in a second. And we also share all of that data with the educator at the end as well. So I'll show what it looks like to create a speaker progress assignment and complete a speaker progress assignment, and then also review it from the educator side.
Right. So this is very much about the assignment experience. Teachers creating an assignment in class teams, and it includes a speaker question in much the same way as you might have seen, a reading progress kind of question,
Yes.
that kind of stuff. Cool.
Yes, exactly. All right. So let me start sharing. So I'm logged in now to Teams as an educator, and I'll go ahead and create an assignment. I can go right into Learning Accelerators from here as well, which is cool, but also just show you starting from the new assignment flow. I'll enter some instructions here. And then I have this Learning Accelerators button, which is going to take me to all of our Learning Accelerators. We have reading progress and search progress, which I know Darren has done podcasts on these before. And speaker progress is the latest one. Like I mentioned, this one is coming or is fully rolled out, fully worldwide now and ready for you to try. And speaker progress focuses on helping students develop presentation and public speaking skills. So as the educator, when I go in to create a speaking progress assignment for my students, I have a lot of different options here. I can give it a title. So in this case, I'll call it topic presentation. I can give it a number of attempts if I want to limit the number of attempts. I'll also show here we have English is what it's available in to start, but we're working with the team to add additional languages. So stay tuned there. We're really excited for that. I can set a number of attempts. I can also set a time limit if I want to. I can require video. And then this one's cool as well. So I can decide whether or not I want my students to see a rehearsal report after every attempt. So the rehearsal report will show them the top strengths, the top opportunities, the things that went well. And I'm going to leave that on here. I think it's really powerful for students to be able to see how they did. But we know that some educators might want to turn this off for younger students so they can review the report before returning it to students. And then we have all of these speaker coach items. So we've partnered with the speaker coach team to bring all of this into Teams, and we've even customized it to make it even more applicable for education. So this coaching is going to be really tailored to students and to the education context. But as the educator, I can customize which speaker coach items I want my students to be coached on when they're rehearsing their presentations.
Right.
So we have pace, which is all about how fast the student is speaking. If you're speaking way too fast or too slowly, that's not going to engage the audience. Filler words, reminding students to take a deep breath if they're using a lot of filler words. Pitch, which encourages students to speak in a varied way and not in a monotone way. And then also pronunciation as well. For content, we have inclusive language. So if the student accidentally uses a swear word, we'll flag them on that and let them know that they should avoid using that kind of language. We have repetitive language. Yeah, sorry.
Is that coming to Teams generally? Because we could use that in our morning meetings, to be honest.
Yeah, you
Fantastic.
actually can turn on Speaker Coach in Teams meetings as well. So it's integrated into PowerPoint, into Teams meetings, and yeah, also now into Speaker Progress. But it's a good reminder. We've definitely seen some students using it and finding it to be kind of a funny one there. We have repetitive language, which if the student is saying the same word again and again, I think young students can rely on crutch words like amazing, 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 we will actually offer them alternatives here and give them some coaching around that and some synonyms. And then lastly, body language, eye contact, distance from the screen, and keeping their face clear. So all of these are really great coaching things that will help the student practice and rehearse and get feedback in real time. But as the educator, I can turn things on or off as I want to. So I am totally in control of the coaching that my students see. But for the purposes of this demo, I'll leave everything on. I can also go into the student view here. So that's also cool as an educator. I can actually practice giving a speech. I can get my coaching. I can see my report. So I can fully test out the experience before ever assigning this to my students.
That's right. Don't assign work that you can't do yourself.
Yes.
Test it out first.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Let me go ahead and assign that. I'm actually going to turn off my camera here in Teams for a second because I want to be able to show my camera in speaker progress.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm going to go into assignments as the student. There we go. There's that brand new assignment I just created as the educator, that topic presentation. And I'll show what that experience looks like for the student. So I will select that. There we go. And now you can see, here I am.
There you are.
I can test my mic and my camera. I can see my attempts remaining and how long I have to speak. I also, we're working on this capability as well. We're working on the ability to share your screen and upload a PowerPoint. That's not there yet. We're working on it. It'll be there in a couple months. But we know as well for students, they might just not want to talk just into the camera. They might also want to use a PowerPoint or a visual aid of that kind.
Yeah,
so we're working on
like
that functionality.
That kind of background, almost for comfort, isn't it? Have I got my PowerPoint behind me with the words?
Yes.
And some nice pictures. It just makes you feel more comfortable. Otherwise, it's just you and the wall behind you.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So we'll be working on adding the ability to share your screen, add a PowerPoint, all of that. But for this case, I'll just show what it looks like if I'm just doing a presentation in speaker progress. So I'm going to be intentionally making a couple presentation mistakes. You can see right up here, I already get a tip telling me that's where my speaker coach items are going to appear. I can mute those if I want to as the student. So already I got a little tip to avoid filler words such as try taking a deep breath. Another thing, so I just said again, but if I move way far back, it's going to tell me to move closer to the screen. And then it's going to tell me I did perfect, which is great. So it'll actually coach me in real time as I'm making mistakes. Another example, let me see if I can try to do it. I'm going to talk really, really fast. So I'm going to try talking really, really fast about speaker progress and see if speaker progress is going to, so there we go. Watch your pace, slow down a bit. So the really cool thing is it's responding to me in real time. We know that students often say that they struggle with feeling like they're not getting enough feedback on their presentations. And so when they're rehearsing with speaker progress and practicing for their in-class presentations, they actually have that opportunity to get all of that real-time feedback and coaching as they're making mistakes. And then off to a good start, keep at it. So I also get some encouraging notifications as well. I'll go ahead and stop and show you what that looks like. So I can play back and watch my video. And then this is that piece of viewing the rehearsal report. So if I view that rehearsal report, I can see lots of things. So top opportunities, body language, I can see when I was too far from the screen, when it was good. It actually counts how many times I said a few words that I might have mispronounced. Things that I did well, my body language, my eye contact, I kept my face clear. I didn't repeat language too much. My pitch was good and I didn't use any sensitive phrases or swear words. And then this is cool as well. You can see actually a graph of my pace over time. On average, I was in the right range here. But as you can see, when I got that notification, I was speaking too fast for an extended period of time. Yeah. So really cool there where I can see that report.
So this is that whole concept. Sorry, this is the whole concept of coaching, isn't it? That
yep.
It's reflecting back to you the things that you do well, the things that you could do better. And the more and more you do it, the better you get naturally. And you don't need a teacher at that moment to help you. They might be involved later. And obviously this is an assignment, so they will see this in the end. But actually you can just practice that yourself until you're happy with your own performance.
Absolutely. And I should have highlighted it. I actually think I can click on it and show this. But yeah, I can actually go in and try again. So if I want to try again, I've already uploaded this recording, so it's already there. But I can try again. get a whole new set of coaching, see a new report, and then turn that one in if I want to. So as many attempts as the educator has given me, I can practice that many times. So that's what we found, is that students like to practice, maybe 2 or 3 times. And after they see the report on their first attempt, they'll go back and try again and intentionally think about implementing that feedback that they got.
Brilliant.
All right. So I'm going to turn that in. I get my little turn-in celebration in Teams, which are always a lot of fun. And then let me head back to the educator view here. I will reload this. If I go to topic presentation, there we go. I can see that student Samantha has turned in her presentation. And then I can watch that video, I can expand it and make it full screen. And then I can see that exact same report that the student saw. So I can see, all of that same stuff, the graph over time of the pace, the pictures of me with the body language, the filler words, the things that I struggled with pronunciation. And then I can also give feedback. So if I disagree with any of this, if I think, the AI got something wrong, I can also provide that feedback to Microsoft, all of that. So if I scroll down as well in this rehearsal report, I can see insights over time. If I click on any of these cards, it'll actually show me how that student's progress has been changing over time as well. So I can see how their pace or their pitch or mispronunciations have changed over time for different assignments. I can also give additional feedback here in Teams. So I could give more qualitative feedback. As you can see, Speaker Coach mostly focuses on the technical aspects of presenting, but let's say I want to give feedback about their introduction or their thesis or how well they explained the topic. I can give that additional feedback here. So as a great companion to Speaker Coach, the teacher can, instead of focusing on all the technical aspects and counting how many times the student is saying or trying to give very technical feedback, all of that is already given by Speaker Coach, so I can focus on the quality of the presentation and the content. And one of the main reasons we built Speaker Progress is because we know that it's really time consuming for educators to have students present in front of the class, and it's still super important, but students oftentimes when they're presenting in front of the class, the first time they're doing it is for their end of term presentation or some big presentation, and they're not getting a lot of opportunities to practice and get feedback ahead of that. So with Speaker Progress, what we found, we had a private preview running all spring where we had lots of classes using it and students using it, is they really liked the opportunity to get that feedback before having to go present in front of the class. So the idea is not to replace in-class presentations, but to help students build confidence ahead of the in-class presentations.
Right. Again, you're coaching, and then boom, you do the real thing.
Yep, exactly. So that's what the experience looks like in a live demo. And like I said, that it's fully rolled out worldwide as of a couple weeks ago. So if you have a Teams class, you can go play around with it today as the educator. Like I said, that student view experience will actually take you through the whole flow of recording your own presentation, getting your own coaching, and seeing your rehearsal report. So you'll be able to practice the experience and see exactly what your students will see when using Speaker Progress.
That's a really good idea, and I love those preview features. Pretend to be the student.
Yes.
Because otherwise, the teachers, I set some work, but I don't really know what it's going to be for the kids. Whereas if you can pretend to go through it yourself, that your 30-odd kids are going to have this particular experience. So that's really good. So Speaker Coach does an amazing thing though. It helps students and the teachers. Let's face it. Helps them as well develop their presentation skills, speak more clearly, right pace, vocabulary, not swearing, all that kind of stuff, which is great. Do you think that's useful outside of, because is this just about kind of PowerPoint presentations and end of year class presentations, or is it a set of skills that you think is more useful in the wider world as well?
Well, I think it's very useful in the wider world. I'll say, so one statistic that we talk about sometimes in relation to Speaker Progress is that 96% of businesses say that communication and presentation skills are important to them, but only 42% of workers actually feel like they have those skills and feel proficient in those skills, which makes sense. A lot of adults don't feel comfortable presenting, talking in front of crowds, communicating with other people. It's not just students that feel anxiety about that. And so if we can help students develop those skills when they're young, when they're in school, help them build their confidence when they're young, that will help them in their futures, in their careers. And then the other thing that I think is really interesting that's been coming out in the last year or so with generative AI is we don't really know what the workforce is going to look like. We don't know what technical skills students are going to need, but a lot of experts have actually identified 3 top skills that are going to be really important in the age of generative AI, which are critical thinking, creativity, and communication. So again, communication and presentation skills showing up there as well for the future, this uncertain future created by generative AI. So helping students build these skills now is really helping prepare them for their future. As we know, these soft skills are just so important. So yeah, it absolutely has applications beyond just what happens in the classroom. It has applications for the rest of the student's life.
Fantastic. Sam, thanks for coming to see us today and talk about speaker coach and speaker progress within Teams assignments. And we look forward to seeing you again. I think we're talking soon about classwork. So it'd be great to have you back on the show for that with Max, I believe, as well.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Darren. I'm excited to talk about classwork, and to everyone out there, try out Speaker Progress and let us know what you think of it. We want to hear your feedback.